Welcome to Let's Run It Back. If you're new here, this is the channel where we dive into the nostalgia of pop culture's greatest hits. Today, we're setting the time machine to 1990, a year packed with unforgettable movies that defined an era. Whether it was thrilling horror, heartfelt family films, mind-bending sci-fi, or timeless holiday classics, 1990 had it all. We're taking a deep dive into some of the year's most influential, nostalgic, and beloved movies, so grab your popcorn and settle in as we relive the magic of Misery, Home Alone, Total Recall, and so many more. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our nostalgic trips down memory lane. Let's run it back to 1990. Action and adventure. The Hunt for Red October. One of the most thrilling action movies of 1990 was The Hunt for Red October, a Cold War submarine thriller that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Directed by John McTiernan, the same genius behind Die Hard and Predator, this movie stars Sean Connery as Captain Marco Ramius, a Soviet submarine commander defecting to the U.S. It also features Alec Baldwin as CIA analyst Jack Ryan. The film's tension is palpable, with its mix of political intrigue, strategic maneuvers, and explosive action sequences. The Hunt for Red October grossed over $200 million worldwide and earned an Academy Award for Best Sound Editing. It also cemented Connery's legacy as a commanding on-screen presence. Whether you're a fan of espionage, naval warfare, or Connery's iconic line delivery, this movie remains a benchmark in the genre. Lionheart, Jean-Claude Van Damme, brought his unique martial arts style to Lionheart, a story of redemption and underground fighting. Van Damme plays Léon Gaultier, a French legionnaire who deserts his post to help his family in America, entering an underground fighting circuit to earn money. This movie highlights Van Damme's athletic prowess and charismatic screen presence. It resonated with fans of the martial arts genre, grossing $24 million domestically. With its emotional core and action-packed sequences, Lionheart stands as one of Van Damme's best films of the era. Back to the Future Part III. Wrapping up one of the most beloved trilogies in movie history, Back to the Future Part III transported fans to the Wild West. Michael J. Fox returned as Marty McFly alongside Christopher Lloyd's eccentric Doc Brown. This time, they're stuck in 1885 and must navigate cowboys, outlaws, and a budding romance for Doc. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, the film's blend of humor, action, and heartfelt moments made it a fitting conclusion to the series. While it didn't quite reach the cultural heights of the first film, Back to the Future Part III still grossed $244 million worldwide. Its iconic train sequence and Doc's final farewell remain standout moments, proving the series ended on a high note. Total Recall. In Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger stars as Douglas Quaid, a construction worker in 2084 who dreams of visiting Mars. Seeking adventure, he visits Recall, a company that implants false memories, to experience Mars as a secret agent. But something goes wrong, and Quaid learns his entire life might be a lie. Now hunted by those who erased his past, he sets out on a dangerous journey to uncover the truth about his identity and its connection to Mars. Directed by Paul Verhoeven, this sci-fi classic combines thrilling action, mind-bending twists, and groundbreaking visual effects, earning it a Special Achievement Oscar. Total Recall remains a staple of 1990s cinema, offering both explosive entertainment and thought-provoking questions about memory and identity. It's an unforgettable ride that still holds up today. Robocop 2. The sequel to the groundbreaking Robocop brought audiences back to the dystopian streets of Detroit, where crime and corruption run rampant. Directed by Irvin Kershner, who also helmed The Empire Strikes Back, Robocop 2 ramped up the action, featuring Peter Weller reprising his role as Alex Murphy, the titular cyborg law enforcer. The plot dives into Robocop's battle against a new drug called Nuke, and a rival cyborg built by Omni Consumer Products, OCP. While it didn't match the critical acclaim of the original, it remains notable for its darker tone and ambitious effects. The stop-motion animation for the antagonist, Robocop 2, was particularly impressive for its time. Grossing over $45 million, this film solidified Robocop's place as a staple in sci-fi action cinema. Hard to Kill. 1990 was a banner year for action movies, and Hard to Kill is quintessential Steven Seagal. Known for his stoic demeanor and devastating martial arts moves, Seagal plays Mason Storm, a cop who survives a murder attempt and wakes up from a coma to seek revenge. The film thrives on classic action tropes: vengeance, corruption, and high-octane fight scenes. Though it's straightforward in its storytelling, Seagal's presence and the brutal choreography made it a hit with audiences, grossing over $59 million. Hard to Kill is a time capsule of early 90s action, complete with its signature one-liners and gritty aesthetic. Marked for Death. Another Seagal feature from 1990, Marked for Death showcases him as a retired DEA agent battling a ruthless Jamaican drug cartel led by the fearsome Screwface. This film leans heavily on brutal hand-to-hand combat, which became a signature of Seagal's career. The movie was a financial success, earning over $58 million worldwide, and cemented Seagal as one of the era's top action stars. Though not without its controversies due to its depiction of Jamaican culture, Marked for Death remains a staple for fans of gritty, relentless action flicks. Die Hard 2. Following up one of the greatest action movies of all time was no small feat, but Die Hard 2 delivered. Bruce Willis returned as John McClane, this time fighting terrorists at an airport on Christmas Eve. Directed by Rennie Harlin, the film ramped up the stakes with more explosions, intense action, and McClane's signature wisecracks. The movie earned over $240 million worldwide and remains one of the top sequels of the decade. While it doesn't quite match the perfection of the original, it's still a roller coaster of suspense and chaos, cementing McClane as one of cinema's ultimate action heroes. Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy brought the comic strip detective to life in a visually stunning adaptation directed by and starring Warren Beatty. With its vibrant colors and larger-than-life villains played by Al Pacino and Madonna, the film stood out for its unique aesthetic. The movie won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Original Song for Madonna's Sooner or Later. Grossing over $162 million, Dick Tracy was both a commercial and critical success. Its art direction and stylized performances make it one of the most memorable comic adaptations of its time. The Rookie. Clint Eastwood directed and starred in The Rookie, a buddy cop film pairing him with Charlie Sheen. Eastwood plays a seasoned detective training Sheen's inexperienced character while they hunt down a dangerous car thief gang. Though not as iconic as Eastwood's earlier works, The Rookie features strong performances and explosive action sequences. Its gritty tone and Eastwood's signature tough guy persona make it worth revisiting for fans of the genre. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In 1990, pizza-loving, crime-fighting reptiles took the big screen by storm in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Combining live action with animatronic suits designed by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, the film captured the essence of the beloved cartoon and comic series. Starring Judith Hoag as April O'Neil and Elias Koteas as Casey Jones, this movie balances humor, action, and heart. The story focuses on the Turtles battling their nemesis Shredder and his Foot Clan while protecting New York City. It grossed over $200 million, becoming the highest-grossing independent film of its time. Fans adored its faithfulness to the source material and its dark yet fun tone. For many, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles remains a nostalgic masterpiece that still holds up decades later. Rocky V. The Rocky franchise took a more personal turn with Rocky V, the 5th installment in the saga of the Italian Stallion. Directed by John G. Avildsen, who also helmed the original Rocky. This film follows Sylvester Stallone's Rocky Balboa as he steps away from the ring after sustaining career-ending injuries. Returning to his roots, Rocky struggles to adjust to life without boxing while mentoring a young, ambitious fighter named Tommy Gunn. Though Rocky V wasn't as celebrated as its predecessors, it provided a more grounded and emotional look at Rocky's journey. Themes of legacy, family, and betrayal are front and center, making it a significant chapter in the series. While it may not pack the same punch as earlier films, it reminds us that Rocky's greatest battles are often outside the ring. Comedy: Kindergarten Cop. One of Arnold Schwarzenegger's most beloved films, Kindergarten Cop mixes action with comedy in a story about tough detective John Kimball going undercover as a kindergarten teacher to catch a dangerous criminal. The contrast between Arnold's action hero persona and the chaos of wrangling young children made this movie an instant classic. Directed by Ivan Reitman, the film blends slapstick humor, heartfelt moments, and action-packed sequences. Schwarzenegger's performance, especially his interactions with the kids, won audiences over. Grossing over $200 million worldwide, Kindergarten Cop proved that Arnold could flex his comedic chops as well as his muscles. "It's not a tumor" remains one of the most quoted lines in cinema history. House Party. House Party is a defining comedy of the 1990s, blending music, dance, and humor into an unforgettable package. Starring Christopher Kid Reed and Christopher Play Martin, the film follows kids' wild attempts to attend a party while dealing with strict parents, school bullies, and the law. Directed by Reginald Hudlin, this movie became a cultural phenomenon, especially in the Black community. Its witty dialogue, energetic dance scenes, and iconic soundtrack made it a box office hit, earning $26 million against a modest budget. House Party also launched a successful franchise and remains a nostalgic favorite for its authentic depiction of youthful fun and rebellion. Problem Child. Problem Child is a darkly humorous family comedy about Junior, a mischievous orphan adopted by a naive couple, played by John Ritter and Amy Yazbek. Junior's antics escalate into chaos, much to the frustration of his adoptive parents. This quirky comedy found its audience with fans of slapstick and offbeat humor, grossing over $53 million worldwide. Ritter's endearing performance as a well-meaning but overwhelmed father balances the movie's absurdity. While critics were mixed on its tone, Problem Child has a cult following that remembers its hilarity and heart. What About Bob? Pairing Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss in a battle of wits, What About Bob is a comedic gem about an obsessive patient who disrupts his psychiatrist's vacation. Directed by Frank Oz, the film thrives on the chemistry between its leads. Murray's portrayal of Bob Wiley, an overly needy but lovable character, contrasts hilariously with Dreyfuss's uptight doctor Leo Marvin. The escalating chaos of their interactions provides non-stop laughs. Grossing $63 million, the movie is a testament to Murray's comedic brilliance and remains a fan favorite for its mix of absurdity and charm. Three Men and a Little Lady, the sequel to the hit comedy Three Men and a Baby. Three Men and a Little Lady reunites Tom Selleck, Steve Guttenberg, and Ted Danson as the trio of bachelors raising a young girl. This time, the story revolves around her mother's plans to marry someone else and move to England, prompting the three men to intervene hilariously. While it didn't match the financial success of its predecessor, Three Men and a Little Lady still charmed audiences with its blend of humor and heartfelt moments. The chemistry among the leads remains the film's strongest asset, making it a delightful sequel for fans of the original. Look Who's Talking 2. John Travolta and Kirstie Alley returned in Look Who's Talking 2, the sequel to the 1989 hit comedy. This time, baby Mikey gets a sibling, and their interactions are narrated by Bruce Willis and Roseanne Barr. While the novelty of the talking baby gimmick wasn't as fresh the second time around, the movie still delivered laughs and relatable family dynamics. Though it didn't perform as well as the original, Look Who's Talking 2 found its niche as a light-hearted comedy that families could enjoy together. Ernest Goes to Jail. Jim Varney brought his lovable but bumbling Ernest P. Worrell back to the big screen in Ernest Goes to Jail. This time, Ernest finds himself mistakenly swapped with a hardened criminal while working as a janitor in a bank. Packed with slapstick humor and Varney's signature comedic energy, the film is a delight for fans of the Ernest franchise. While critics weren't always kind to the series, it developed a dedicated fan base. Ernest Goes to Jail is remembered for its zany humor and Varney's ability to bring heart to even the silliest situations. Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman became one of the most iconic romantic comedies of all time when it hit theaters in 1990. Directed by Gary Marshall, it stars Julia Roberts as Vivian Ward, a spirited sex worker, and Richard Gere as Edward Lewis, a wealthy businessman. What begins as a business arrangement transforms into a heartfelt romance, with both characters inspiring personal growth in each other. Julia Roberts' breakout performance earned her a Golden Globe and an Oscar nomination, and the film's blend of humor, charm, and undeniable chemistry made it a massive hit, grossing over $463 million worldwide. From the iconic shopping montage to its heartwarming message of self-worth and transformation, Pretty Woman remains a timeless classic in romantic comedy history. Drama. Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas is a landmark in cinema, considered one of the greatest gangster films ever made. This gritty, fast-paced drama chronicles the rise and fall of Henry Hill, played by Ray Liotta, and his life in the mob. Featuring unforgettable performances from Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Lorraine Bracco, the film explores loyalty, betrayal, and the allure of crime. Joe Pesci's performance as the volatile Tommy DeVito earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, and the movie was nominated for 6 Oscars in total, including Best Picture. With its iconic use of music, rapid-fire editing, and compelling storytelling, Goodfellas remains a masterpiece and a cultural touchstone that shaped the crime genre. Awakenings. Awakenings is a poignant drama based on the true story of a neurologist, Dr. Malcolm Sayer, played by Robin Williams, who uses an experimental drug to awaken catatonic patients. Among them is Leonard Lowe, played by Robert De Niro in a heart-wrenching performance. Directed by Penny Marshall, the film explores themes of hope, humanity, and the fragility of life. De Niro's portrayal earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor, while the film itself received a nomination for Best Picture. Awakenings is a deeply emotional story that showcases the incredible talents of its 2 leads and remains a powerful cinematic experience. The Godfather Part III. The final installment of Francis Ford Coppola's iconic trilogy, The Godfather Part III, sees Al Pacino return as Michael Corleone. This chapter focuses on Michael's attempts to legitimize his empire while being haunted by past sins and drawn into new conflicts. Although it couldn't match the acclaim of its predecessors, the film received 7 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. Sofia Coppola's controversial casting and a few narrative missteps have been debated over the years, but the movie still offers memorable moments and a fitting conclusion to Michael's journey. Dances with Wolves. Kevin Costner's Dances with Wolves is an epic western that tells the story of John Dunbar, a Union Army lieutenant who befriends a Sioux tribe during the Civil War. The film explores themes of cultural exchange, respect for nature, and the tragedy of colonialism. Costner's directorial debut was a massive success, winning 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. Grossing over $400 million worldwide, it revitalized the Western genre and remains one of the most celebrated films of the decade. Its sweeping landscapes and emotional depth make it a timeless classic. King of New York. Abel Ferrara's King of New York stars Christopher Walken as Frank White, a drug lord seeking to rebuild his empire and give back to his community after being released from prison. Lawrence Fishburne and Wesley Snipes round out the stellar cast in this gritty crime drama. The film's dark tone and Walken's magnetic performance make it a standout in the genre. While it didn't achieve major commercial success, it gained a cult following for its unflinching portrayal of power, corruption, and loyalty in the criminal underworld. Mo Better Blues. Spike Lee's Mo Better Blues is a jazz-infused drama starring Denzel Washington as Bleak Gilliam, a talented but conflicted jazz trumpeter navigating his career, friendships, and romantic relationships. The film is a visual and auditory feast, with stunning cinematography and an evocative soundtrack composed by Lee's father, Bill Lee. Washington delivers a nuanced performance supported by standout turns from Wesley Snipes and Spike Lee himself. While not as groundbreaking as Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues is a soulful exploration of artistry and ambition. Horror and thriller, Misery. Based on Stephen King's novel, Misery is a psychological thriller that features Kathy Bates in an Oscar-winning performance as Annie Wilkes, an obsessive fan who holds author Paul Sheldon, James Caan, captive after he's injured in a car accident. Directed by Rob Reiner, Misery is a masterclass in tension, with Bates's chilling portrayal of Annie turning the film into an unforgettable experience. The film won multiple awards, including the Academy Award for Best Actress for Bates, and is often considered one of the best Stephen King adaptations, cementing its place in horror thriller history. Flatliners. Flatliners explores the consequence of tampering with life and death. Directed by Joel Schumacher, this psychological drama stars Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, and Kevin Bacon as medical students who experiment with near-death experiences, only to face the terrifying repercussions of their actions. The film's eerie visuals and moral dilemmas struck a chord with audiences, grossing $61 million worldwide. Its exploration of mortality and redemption adds depth to its chilling premise. Though it divides critics, Flatliners remains a thought-provoking piece of 1990s cinema. Arachnophobia. Arachnophobia is a unique blend of comedy and horror directed by Frank Marshall, in which a deadly species of spider from the Amazon is transported to a small town, causing havoc as the creatures breed and terrorize the community. The film is filled with plenty of creepy, crawly thrills and lighthearted humor, making it accessible for a wide audience. John Goodman shines as the eccentric exterminator, and the film was a box office hit, grossing over $53 million worldwide. It continues to be a nostalgic favorite for those who love a good creature feature. The Exorcist III. A continuation of the original Exorcist saga, The Exorcist III follows Lieutenant William F. Kinderman, George C. Scott, as he investigates a series of brutal murders tied to the demon Pazuzu. Directed by William Peter Blatty, who also wrote the original novel, The Exorcist III is a chilling, slow-burn horror film that emphasizes psychological terror over traditional shock tactics. The film has earned praise for its atmospheric tension and its masterful direction, particularly the iconic hallway scene, which has become one of the most memorable moments in horror cinema. It's a film that blends supernatural horror with investigative thrills, making it a standout in the genre. Child's Play 2. Chucky returned in Child's Play 2, the 1990 sequel that solidified the killer doll as a horror icon. The story follows Andy Barclay, Alex Vincent, now living with foster parents, as he tries to move on from his terrifying past. But Chucky, resurrected by the toy company, is back with a deadly mission: to possess Andy's body and escape his plastic prison. Directed by John LaFia, the film ramps up the scares and dark humor, with Chucky's wit and brutal tactics on full display. The thrilling climax in the toy factory remains one of the franchise's most memorable moments. Child's Play 2 successfully expanded Chucky's legacy, offering fans a perfect blend of terror and twisted fun. Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is a psychological thriller that blends drama and horror, following Jacob Singer, played by Tim Robbins, a Vietnam War veteran experiencing terrifying hallucinations and a fractured sense of reality. Directed by Adrian Lyne, the film delves into themes of trauma, guilt, and the afterlife. Though not a major box office success, Jacob's Ladder became a cult classic for its haunting imagery and complex narrative. Its influence can be seen in later films and video games like Silent Hill. Tim Robbins delivers a gripping performance in this deeply unsettling yet profoundly moving story. Family and animation. Home Alone. A holiday classic that remains beloved to this day, Home Alone catapulted Macaulay Culkin to stardom as Kevin McAllister, an 8-year-old boy accidentally left behind when his family leaves for a Christmas vacation. Kevin must protect his home from two bumbling burglars, Harry and Marv, played hilariously by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Directed by Chris Columbus and written by John Hughes, Home Alone became a massive success, grossing over $476 million worldwide, and holding the title of the highest-grossing live-action comedy for decades. The combination of heartwarming family moments, slapstick humor, and an iconic John Williams score make this film a staple of holiday viewing. The Rescuers Down Under. The sequel to Disney's The Rescuers, The Rescuers Down Under transports audiences to Australia, where two brave mice, Bernard and Bianca, attempt to rescue a young boy named Cody from the clutches of an evil poacher. Though it didn't achieve the same level of success as its predecessor, the film features breathtaking animation and a heartfelt story, with standout voice performances from Bob Newhart and Eva Gabor. It marked a significant moment in Disney's animation renaissance and is still beloved by fans of the studio's 90s classics. DuckTales the Movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp. Based on the beloved animated series, DuckTales the Movie sees Scrooge McDuck and his nephews go on an adventure to uncover a magical treasure, only to encounter an evil sorcerer. The film captures the charm and humor of the TV series, while adding epic action sequences and heartfelt moments. Though it didn't make as big of an impact as other Disney movies at the time, it has developed a strong following among fans of the show and 90s animation, continuing to live on in nostalgia. Jetsons, the movie. The futuristic family of the Jetsons made their big screen debut in 1990 with Jetsons, the movie. The film sees George Jetson and his family navigating technological mishaps and corporate corruption as they try to save their beloved family home. Though Jetsons, the movie, was not a major box office hit, it captured the essence of the iconic animated series, bringing the characters to life with a more polished animation style. Fans of the original show appreciated the film's family-friendly humor and its optimistic, colorful view of the future. Ghost Dad. Bill Cosby stars in Ghost Dad, a family-friendly supernatural comedy where his character, Elliot, a workaholic father, dies in a car accident and returns as a ghost. He uses his new abilities to fix his fractured relationship with his children. While the movie didn't perform well critically, it became a nostalgic favorite for viewers who appreciated Cosby's charm and the gentle mix of supernatural hijinks and heartfelt family moments. It's one of those films that embodies the kind of wholesome humor that was prevalent in family films of the era. Fantasy and sci-fi. Edward Scissorhands. Tim Burton's Edward Scissorhands is a whimsical yet dark fantasy about a man with scissor hands who struggles to fit into suburban society. Johnny Depp's performance as the gentle and misunderstood Edward earned him critical acclaim, and the film's visual style, a signature of Burton's work, helped make it a cult classic. The movie also tackles themes of isolation, love, and acceptance, all set against a picturesque but strange suburban backdrop. The film's blend of fantasy, romance, and gothic elements made it one of the most beloved films of Burton's career and one of the best of 1990. Gremlins 2, The New Batch. The Gremlins are back in Gremlins 2, The New Batch, and this time they're wreaking havoc in a high-tech office building. Directed by Joe Dante, the sequel amps up the absurdity with new types of gremlins and even more outrageous situations. The film's over-the-top humor and wild, creative chaos make it a cult classic, though it diverged from the darker tone of the first film. Gremlins 2 was a box office disappointment at the time, but has since become a fan favorite for its wackiness, satire, and comedic sensibility. The NeverEnding Story 2, The Next Chapter. A magical sequel to the beloved fantasy classic, The NeverEnding Story 2, The Next Chapter brought fans back to the enchanting world of Fantasia. Based on Michael Ende's novel, this film follows Bastian, played by Jonathan Brandis, as he embarks on another adventure to save Fantasia from a new threat, the evil sorceress Zayade. Along the way, Bastian learns valuable lessons about courage and self-belief, while reuniting with beloved characters like Atreyu and Falkor. While it didn't quite reach the heights of its predecessor, The NeverEnding Story 2 delivered the same sense of wonder and imagination that captured audiences in the first film. With its heartfelt story and dazzling visuals, it remains a nostalgic favorite for fans of 1990s fantasy films. Ghost. One of the most iconic romance films of all time, Ghost captivated audiences in 1990 with its heart-wrenching love story, supernatural twists, and unforgettable performances. Patrick Swayze stars as Sam Wheat, a banker whose life is tragically cut short in a robbery gone wrong. Now a ghost, Sam is determined to protect his girlfriend Molly, Demi Moore, and solve the mystery of his own murder. With the help of the hilarious psychic Oda Mae Brown, played by Whoopi Goldberg in her Oscar-winning role, Sam navigates the afterlife while trying to reach the woman he loves. This movie blended romance, suspense, and humor with a supernatural edge, creating a timeless classic. Who can forget the iconic pottery scene set to Unchained Melody? Ghost didn't just win awards, it won hearts and remains a beloved part of 1990's cinematic legacy. And that's a wrap on our nostalgic journey through the movies of 1990. From thrilling action to heartwarming family adventures, this year truly had something for everyone. Which of these films brought back the most memories for you? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your favorites. Before we go, let me say thank you to our first 3 channel members, with a special shout out to Jeremy Bowen and Mary Gerald, who signed up for our Throwback Influencer tier. If you would like to support the channel, please sign up as a member to see more videos like this a day early, and to receive other awesome perks. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more nostalgic content. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Run It Back. And as always, keep the nostalgia alive. See you in the next video.